talk time. So I haven't done a video like this in a while, so I want to expose these people's tactics. This is going on in the Derbyshire Dales, the United Kingdom. Corrupt emergency services, police, ambulance, fire service, and civilians, which are called CHIS, covert human intelligence sources, which are being used in a coercive persuasion, basically mind control, harassment type program. Alright. I've been going through this for 6 years now. It started in 2014, the end of 2014. I lived in Sheffield for 5 years. I was getting harassed all the time there. I moved last year. It followed me. So when TI say, oh, you can move and get away from it, you can't. It'll follow you. So today, heavy targeting, harassment, mind games from these perps. So I started a new part-time work experience thing, and I guess they didn't like that. So I could tell they look mad. They look pissed off. So start with from the top what they've been using. So they've been using my family, notably my mother and my father, to target me a lot with the coughing. For those that are new, repetitive coughing around you is something they use, which is a tactic called dark NLP, which is to condition you negatively to everyday stimuli. Alright? So they've been using my family, certain colours, actions, sounds. They try to condition you to them, or as GCHQ's manual says, cues. Right? So you need to research about, because GCHQ are running these types of programs, the security services, the police, even the ambulance service, the NHS, are all involved in these coercive persuasion programs. So today, in fact the last few days, something they've started doing again is doing very subtle hints that they know what I'm doing. So the other day I was at my family's house, right? My dad got a phone call, and I used to get these phone calls from people that you'd say hello and no one would answer the phone for a few seconds, and then they'd start speaking to you. So he got a phone call saying, oh, we heard you've been in an accident, right? And he keeps getting them, apparently. Now, I'm at the work experience place today, and guess what? Someone starts having a conversation, right, about, oh, I've been getting these phone calls. And you know, when they speak, they pause for a few. See how they reference it, right? They reference it. They reference things. They like to do that, right? Subtle references to things that have happened to you. So all of a sudden on my, I guess they've done this. On my my mum's car, the brakes have started making a funny noise, right? And I find it not a coincidence that we get a message about having an accident, and then the brakes have been tampered with, I believe, because they were fine last time I was in the car. But this is how they do it. They like to subtly let you know they've been in or done something, right? So the other day, what happened the other day? I can't remember, but something happened. But anyway, they like to reference things they've done, So, you know, I heard them mention something about stalking as well, just before they mentioned the phone thing. Something about stalking, and oh, we can't let them do that. Something like that. So they got people around you, infiltrate. They know you start somewhere new. They'll send people to join. They'll send people to join. So all of a sudden, I've noticed this. My mum started wearing red, and my dad started wearing red a lot. Right around the same time, they started targeting me with red because I know they're involved. I know they've got them involved. They won't admit it, but I literally had to tell my mother to stop it today because she was so blatant with it. And I won't let you. I don't care if you're my family. I'll tell you, don't do that. All right. So I was in the car, and my mum and dad the other day they said we don't want you speaking about this anymore in the car. So I forgot about that because I mentioned how my dad's getting phone calls about having an accident, and then the brakes are playing up, and then I kid you not, right? My mum basically coughs really, RT knows what I mean. Just like how she did in that video, RT, she coughed, and it was so contrived. Like it was like, how we were talking on the call about how some people use it to make like saying be quiet, right? I'm not doing this to target anyone, but I'm gonna do what she did. So it was like this. Oh, I bet they've done this. This is me speaking, not them. I bet they did this as in the pubs, because the brakes have started playing up, and then you've been getting these phone calls, and then my dad was like, "Oh, I don't want you speaking about this," and then my mum was like, so I'm like, why did you do that? Don't do that, And she's coming up with some bullshit like, I didn't even realise what I was doing, which is bullshit, right? When you're coughing, you can feel it. You don't just cough and not know you're doing it. And they know it's something my perps use, right? Yet they still do it constantly, right? Because they're involved. They're involved. They've got them involved somehow. Maybe telling them a lie, saying I'm a rapist or I'm a paedophile and I deserve it, or I need this to help me, it's to control me, whatever. I'm dangerous, some bullshit. But the last year they've really started targeting me. But I know they've been involved longer than a year because RT picked up on it as well. He was like, "Yo, didn't you notice your mum doing that when she coughed?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I hope it's not," but it seems to be. I know they're both involved. My dad's been targeting me all day today with the coughing. I've been targeting him back. Alright? I'm going to expose what you're doing. Alright? Everything. Even if you're family, I'm going to expose it. Alright? I'm going to expose it. So, they're involved. They've got my family involved. My mum's not been wearing red, yet the last week she started wearing red. Every time I see her, she started wearing red. Alright, all of a sudden she started wearing red. Okay, I noticed it because she was wearing like a green coat or brown coat before. Now she started wearing red every time I see her. And my dad was wearing red the other time too. So trying to use that colour, which, they're trying to negatively get me fixated on it using dark NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Alright. So this is the kind of stuff they do. They'll use people around you. Right? So very subtle things like that they will do. Negative. Right, it's another example. You know how I mentioned how people are constantly talking around me about heart attacks and strokes? Right, this woman today, oh, I've got to get my heart checked up, I've got a problem with my heart, and blah, 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 blah. Right? Constantly exposed to this kind of stuff. I call it negative bombing, negative word bombing. Right? That's why I call it. That's my name for it. Where they'll constantly talk about negative things around you. All right. And I know the tactics of what you're doing, trying to mask it and make it look like it's your problem. But I doubt it. They're just doing it to get me exposed to that, to make me think that, to gaslight you. The tactic they do is they try to at least in my experience, they try to gaslight you into thinking you have a health condition. Early on in my targeting, there was a guy on the bus and I was getting pains in my stomach, probably from being poisoned or direct energy. So I had pains in the left side of my stomach, and there was a guy on the bus, right? And he's saying, "Oh, I've got these pains in the left side of my stomach. It's a sign of liver cancer or liver disease or something like that," he said. So these are all the kind of things they try to do, can gaslight you into thinking you have, because I think they know the mind is a powerful thing, right? So if they can make you think you've got something wrong with you, you can develop it, right? You know, it can actually happen. They know that. They've researched things like this. The CIA researching paranormal things and supernatural things. They know about this kind of stuff. They know the mind is so powerful, like in the Matrix, how it can make it real, right? If they can convince you you're going to get cancer, you might get cancer, all right? So it's the kind of stuff they like to do. So trying to, again, expose me to negativity, you're not going to convince me that there's anything wrong with me, all right? So give it up. But you know, you got to do that. So again, the same person, you know, I'm carrying some some forks or something, and she's like, "Oh, don't stab yourself or anyone." Right? See how they do it. Negativity again. So, you know, trying to put that in my head, stabbing someone or myself. Right? I know what you're doing. So this is how subtle they are with it, but they know the kind of ways to implant things in your subconscious. But I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. So these are the kind of tactics they like to use. Very, very subtle, you know, under the radar type shit. At least they think it's under the radar, but I tell you now, it's not under my radar. I'm aware of it, what you're doing. I mean, maybe this person didn't know what she was doing. Maybe they mind controlled her to say this. But either way, I'm constantly having people talk around me about depression, strokes, heart attacks, breakdown, this, you know, negative shit all the time. As soon as I get back today as well, ambulance sirens, alright? As soon as I get to my house, ambulance sirens, aircraft flying over me where I was too again. So yesterday, one of my neighbours, he comes out, he starts coughing every time he walks past the front of my house. And I guess he's gone into hiding again, this little rat bag. So I knew he was a perp from the minute I saw him. I never liked him from the minute I saw him. Something about him, I knew he was going to be a problem. So 3 times yesterday, he coughed as he walked in front of me. So I'm like, well done, inbred. And I'm like, so he's starting to cough, right? And I'm going like that, taking the piss. Does he say what you're doing? Does he say, what the fuck are you doing, mate? No. And this is something you'll notice with these perps. When you confront them on their shit, they don't do anything back. They don't respond. They don't. The same thing happened earlier this year. There was someone stood in front of my garden, yard, and it was stood there for about over 5 minutes doing nothing. So I'm like, mate, what are you doing? No answer. Alright, not a single, not nothing. No answer. I'm like, mate, why are you just stood in front of my garden for? No answer. and then walks off. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, you faggot, you know. Because right then he let me know it's a perp. Then when anyone else would be like, oh, I'm just walking my dog, right? He didn't say that. So that's how you know sometimes that these people are involved. They play the don't respond game because I guess they've had their little schedule broke. They're not trained for that. So yeah, this is the kind of stuff they like to do. Again, the other day, one of them, I think the son of this guy, glaring at me when I'm in my house. So we had a stare down. You know, I just stared at him till he stopped looking at me, and then he looked away. I'm like, yeah, they're playing these stupid little games. You know, sort of dumb shit like that. It's like, I'm not scared of you. I'm not afraid of you. Especially you lot here. You don't scare me. Well, the thing is, it's like, I don't understand it. Well, I know they've been paid or coerced, but I haven't. These are people that I've never shown disrespect to. Never. They started it. They started this shit off. All of them. Alright? All my neighbours started this shit off. The first one was the wall rat who started coughing every time he came into his bathroom. Every single time, right, he'd cough. Every single time. Without fail. So I knew what was going on. Right? He was trying to sensitize me. Because again, another tactic these people use. I've just got to clear my throat, so I'm going to go out of the room because I've been coughing too much on my videos and I don't need to think I'm targeting anyone. The air's been unclean. It's not been good. It's been making my nose run. They're probably spraying because it's been grey cloud today. So, yeah, all my neighbours here are either perps or have turned on me. So the people in front of the house, not all of them, but some of them in that building are perps. They'll start doing this, even today, you know, I get back, as soon as I get back, they come out of the house, get in their car, move it a little while, and then get out. Alright? Same time, exit, entry, tactic. Just like that woman did, you know, and she's constantly targeting the person in the MI9. Now, there's 2 cars, I'm going to film tomorrow. There's 2 cars on my street now with MI9 in the number plate. I'll show you. Show you exactly what these idiots are doing. There's a new car now, a grey one with MI9 in the number plate. So there's 2. They're trying to rub it in my face, but you know, I'm going to expose it and take piss. It's fine. I don't know who drives this one, but it started turning up. I have my suspicions on who it is, but I couldn't really see the driver. But I think it's one of these dickheads in the front building. Because there's snided with them in there. So, yeah. I mean, I could tell well, it was today, when I started talking about what happened to my dad, they sounded nervous when I mentioned it, like, because I wanted to talk about it to let them know, yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Trying to reference it. Because I used to get the same thing. I used to get calls from people who would not speak for a few seconds, I guess, to make you feel unnerved, and then talk. Asking about dumb shit, like one time they tried to sell me plates or something. Some stupid shit like that. So these people are very versed in how to make you feel uncomfortable. But I'm very versed in how to make you feel uncomfortable, you perps. Because you've taught me. playing your games next door, that's not a thing. Got my music to blast you. Alright? And I know you... I'm trying not to cough, my throat's groggy. I know you don't like that. So, honestly, it's like I've been smoking, and I haven't smoked for a while. I haven't had a spliff in ages. I'm smoked in like 3 weeks. But this air, it's like I've been smoking. Really, really bad air. And I can see it when I look out, there's like a haze. Alright. So, these are some of the tactics they like to use. I think they've been doing, remember what they've been doing now. They've done a few things. Obviously, you know, impersonating me on my channel. They made a these people, man, it's like, they're so stupid. It's like, wow, you're clever. But, yeah, like I said, if anyone starts talking crazy and it looks like me, check it firsthand. Because they've been impersonating me on YouTube. Alright, they've got my name the same, but the logo, even the logo looks the same, but it's slightly different. The lighting is different. I'm just gonna have to clear my throat again. I apologise. This air is toxic. It's trash. We get toxic air, and I can believe it because I only get like this when the air's bad. Like, it's like my body's trying to get rid of it. I've been grogginess on my throat, coughing, genuinely coughing, you know, not their fake coughing, genuine coughing because of this air, you know. I'll give the Mirror props for warning about this because it's the BBC, the British bollock called Cunteration. They didn't tell no one about this. So fuck you, you filth scumbags, for putting people at risk, not telling no one about this, about the air quality being bad. Because people are going to die, asthmatics are going to be fucked, alright? Well, I know you're working with the globalists, trying to cover the geoengineering, the weather modification program that's running, and it is running. It gets more in your face every day. And they're doing the little satanic X's in the sky, because X means 6, right? It's numerology for 6. If you do your research on that, it's a satanic symbol. It shows you the mentality we're dealing with here of crazy cult-like behaviour in the government. They've been infiltrated. Alright? Been infiltrated. The government is not, it's not safe. It's corrupted. It's infiltrated from inside by Satanists, by Freemasons, by Luciferianism, by, you know, Zionists, fake Jews, and all the others that have, you know, criminals. No, well, there's no such thing as a good criminal, but, or a bad criminal in my eyes. But the criminals that harm people, not the criminals that commit crimes that don't harm people, the criminals that don't give a fuck about life or anything, terrorists basically. So those kind of criminals that don't give a shit about no one, they're the kind of people in the government. So Boris, you fucking nonce. What's your stance on this fucking shit going on with the PSYOP program that your government are running on people, like terrorism program that people are running on people like me, and also the illegal geoengineering? Because I know you know about it. I'm pretty certain you politicians know about this. You know? What's your stance? Because, you know, people are going to expose what you people are doing. You've got to breathe this air in too, you know? You're only human. You've got to breathe this air in too, this poison. So don't think, Boris, that this shit doesn't affect you, because they might use these weapons on you too. You know? You only got to say the wrong thing or piss the wrong person off and you'll be they're targeting Trump. I don't support Trump, but they're targeting Trump. Look how they're trying to impeach him. Look how they've been constantly trying to set him up, right? He's targeted, right? And he's Satanist, I know, because he does the hand signals, right? I don't support him, but he's targeted too by the government, I believe. Not the government he represents, but the shadow government. You know, he's not supporting their globalist agenda, so he's going to be targeted. He'll probably get locked up. They'll probably find a way to, at the very least, get rid of him. He's targeted. So, you know, these politicians, they don't have the power here. It's the secret societies, the companies, the big corporations, and the bankers that have the power. And they canonize. Alright? So, these are the kind of people that have the power and pull. So, also I've learned recently that they've tried to set up Secure Team 10, the UFO guy. They tried to set him up. He says he was set up. So I'm going to watch that. I haven't watched the video, but I heard that they tried to set him up. And he's targeted too, because I've seen, he did a video where there's a surveillance car outside his house. Government shit, you know what I mean? Outside his house. MIBs as he called them, but, you know. So they're targeting more people. So you're on YouTube, they want to target me, right? Especially on some of the big channels. I see that. I see what you're doing. The hand signals, the coughing, all that shit. I see it. I pick up on it. I don't think that, you think it's nice, but you think it's funny even, but what if it happens to your son, your daughter, your mother, your friend? It's not funny then, is it? Because these people will turn on you in the snap of a hat. Alright? You're expendable. Right, to quote that div that tried to say I'm a perpetrator. Yeah, I remember your name now, Expendables or whatever. I'm not a perpetrator. I'm 100% TI. Alright? I'm not gang stalker. I'm not. Alright? So you're obviously either severely misinformed or you're a perp, which I think the latter, because no TI would accuse me of being a perp like that, because I haven't done anything to target anyone. And if I have done something, tell me, because it could be the technology. You have to be careful because they can make you target. And I've seen it with other TIs, but it's all good. I know what they're doing. Other TIs have done certain things. I felt like they're targeting me at times, and they've said the same thing to me. They manipulate us to make each other think we're targeting. Well, we are targeting each other, but we don't know. It's not conscious. We've been mind controlled by the technology. And yes, they have this technology. I'll list the names. Do your research, right? Not this Elon Musk fucker. Do your research, right? Microwave auditory effect weapon. silent sound spread spectrum weapon, remote neural monitoring technology. Alright, voice to skull. Recommend you research the microwave auditory effect, how they've weaponized it. All these people saying they're hearing voices, they're not crazy. Well, not all of them. I don't hear voices, but you know, they use these weapons on people. I think they're effective with some people and others. Although they have started doing one thing to me that they did early on in my targeting, which was I'd be sleeping, I'd hear a bang, like it sounded like a recording in my head, like a banging, or like a like that, like an explosion. I'd wake up in a shot. They start doing that again. They did that a couple of weeks ago. That's the microwave auditory effect weapon. Alright, making you hear things that aren't there. Alright, but it doesn't seem to have that much of an effect. Be very aware they have this technology. They try to make people crazy with this technology, and then they get rid of you that way. It's how this system is set up. So yeah, stay safe out there. This shit is real. It's not a game. I'm not crazy. I'm not joking with you. I'm serious. Alright. To those that are new to the channel, I'm serious about all this stuff I talk about. It happened. Even the supernatural shit. If I say it happens, it happened. Alright? And that did happen yesterday when something flew off when I got back. So yeah. Alright.